place here on Dorado.
Oh, Dorado. Just has become one of the standard maps now. Like, we've had this rotation where Dorado sort of came in, crept in, sort of started replacing Hollywood a little bit. The teams favoring. I'm going to be curious to see what the teams run here. I've heard like the so-called NIP comp, the triple support, triple tank comp has become very, very popular on this map as well, but it doesn't look like so far that they're going to be running that just yet.
That composition has been ridiculously popular as of late. And also, it's one of those things too, where not only has it been popular, it's also what's it called? We've seen various variations on it. Just watching LW Red yesterday, where, of course, you saw what they're running. They were running the NIP comp, but with a Winston on Awesome Guy instead of a Roadhog, and it was great. There was one match where they basically did their best Envious impression in keeping a team stuck in their spawn.
Yeah, I was watching that. I was watching all of last night, like up until the wee hours of the morning. Holy moly, that was good to see. Like the Koreans, they're coming, they're scary, they have a different style. And Awesome Guys, Winston was just phenomenal. Now, the big question for me coming into this matchup is, can Tornado.ROX put a dent in Misfits? Like, Misfits are the absolute favorite. Can Tornado.ROX just have a good showing? And can they take a couple of maps? Can they make it close? How far can they get? Because Misfits, like, to me, they are the out-and-out favorites here. I'm not going to sort of pad it and say that, oh, sure, they can do it with enough grit and determination. They're definitely, you know, well, we're looking for a miracle here. But
how much extra grit and determination would it take here? Well, if you had to put a number on,
about 1,000 grit and about 2,000 determination.
All right, that's fair. We'll see if they can hit those magic numbers here, but I agree. This is heavily favored here by Misfits, and we'll see just how they want to approach it here, but they are going with a double flanker offense. Tracer and Genji going to be going around the side, and soon, not wasting any time, going around, and I don't know about how far up Tornado.ROX is right now. They are getting just stomped by Misfits. The flank is in, Winston is in, 4 quick kills here from Misfits, and this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, so that's a defense that you run when you think that you are better than the enemy team. Like, that's a defense that you run when you're going to try and get 1 or 2 quick picks, maybe then just fall back slowly. But especially against this team that Misfits are running with the double flanker, they are looking to engage hard, get in early. And Nevix is already on 75%. He's almost got a Dragon Blade ready to go. Soon's got a bomb. They're just going to camp them coming out the spawn there. The bomb goes down, doesn't find anything, unfortunately.
And right now, trying to get any momentum on McCree. Gonna find Nevix instead, though. Nevix about to have Dragon Blade on the way. Cleanup could be in action here. Gets a double kill, and he's actually gonna be able to save that Dragon Blade for the Streets phase. So right now, just about everything going in favor of Misfits. In fact, looking at the kill feed, has a single kill even gone the way of Tornado.ROX yet?
I don't think so. I have not seen one, and I've been looking. Right now, ultimates are definitely well in favor of Misfits as well. They are rolling through. Crew on 90% charge on Zarya. He's gonna have that ready well before Mistakes has anything ready on the Transcendence with the Zenyatta. So there's going to be no response to this at all coming to the next fight. Even if they stand on this high ground, it's going to be so easy for Nevix to just get set up, pull out the Dragon Blade, and get a bunch of quick kills. And here we go.
Right, Dragon Blade now underway. Nevix looking for this up, moving to the back line, takes out Nalar, still slicing and dicing. 6 seconds enough for Nevix as he takes out 2. And this is just going to be the momentum carrying forward here for Misfits. And I don't know what to say here. This has clearly been very rough for Tornado.ROX. And I feel like there's a point where they would fight back a little bit harder here, but Misfits just operating on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, I'm going to up that prediction earlier and say we're now at like 3,000 determination and about 2,000 extra grit, because holy moly, this has been more one-sided than I expected. Oh my god, Soon is in position. There's the bomb. How much can they get? Just 1, unfortunately.
The Graviton comes in, sets up Soon for the pulse bomb, does take out Enlar. Still a good start here from Misfits as Soon. Nothing really on him, just able to send the back line, laying in this Tracer Fire. Claws, though, on the point, does get 2. However, you look at Misfits, they still have more people in and around here, and Skipjack, Nevix, and Soon are going to be able to clean this up.
Just still swinging away. He managed to clobber 2 people there with that hammer, unfortunately. Oh no, now McCree's just caught on his own. He's going to die. There's the spawns staggered as well, moving into the next phase. They do have a couple of ultimates coming in next, but Mistakes, no, gets picked up as well by Skipjack, just going right into the back. Gets a good kill on that Zenyatta, and he's going to be down for the next fight as well. They're just going to have such an easy time pushing all the way to the corner. All that Tornado.ROX can do right now is just try and hold on for a little bit long, but I don't think Soon is going to let them do that. He's already getting in position for a pulse bomb.
Right now, one of the best hopes here coming out here for Tornado.ROX. They do have Lightning, they do have Death Blossom at the ready, and maybe they can restabilize off this, but they're already down Mistakes around this fight. Soundbear out here from the offense, Soundbear out from the defense. Lightning moving to the back. Winston is down. And he's still get pushed out here as Nevix is going to the backline. Dragon Blade out once more, gets the double kill, looking for more. If there is going to be a Death Blossom, it has to come in at some point soon, but he's not really in position to do it anymore.
No, he's not in position, doesn't have the health and doesn't have the resources to really get any value off it. They're just pulling them apart here with this double flanker lineup. It's just super aggressive. It just lets Soon and Nevix run rampant. And, you know, it's worth mentioning that they have swapped Nevix onto the DPS. So he used to be running support for the team, used to be doing a lot of shot calling as well. I'm curious to find out if maybe he's still doing a lot of that, but it looks like they're trying one last defense CP.
They're going for it. Crew right now, though, holding on to the Graviton. Could have the dagger here, but no, not going to happen. Claws with the Earth Shatter sets up Enlar, and Enlar finding some success here on Tracer that he hasn't really had on McCree. Able to get 2 kills to mop that up, and Tornado.ROX at least will win one team fight here in this clash on Dorado, and we'll see if they can keep things going here. However, Crew still has Graviton to set up the next fight.
As Graviton, but Mistakes, Cruci might have Transcendence up in time, but the question is, can Mistakes survive long enough to actually get it out? So far, Soon has been doing a really good job, and Nevix have been both pressuring the backline. Skipjack has also just been jumping on him time and time again, getting the damage onto him, just removing that Zenyatta. If they can remove him quickly, this Graviton could be huge. Skipjack just goes right to the back, actually goes onto the D.Va instead, and looks like they're just going to try and force him onto the low ground here in this fight.
Alright, so Corinne now is looking for the Graviton, sets up Lightning in the backline. Death Blossom at the right, takes down Zebasai. Both supports here for Misfits are down, and Enlar able to get to the back. Pulse Spawn doing work, but here comes Nevix. Dragon Blade on the way. Misfits not out of this fight yet, despite the terrible start as it began, and soon actually able to get the cleanup here, as Misfits is going to get this moving forward. They're down most of their players, and the defense should be able to reinforce, but I feel like Misfits shouldn't even have gotten as much as they got there.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw happen there was Mistakes managed to get the Transcendence off, which, you know, came out a little bit early. Graviton went down, and as Transcendence was finished off, Soon just dunked the bomb and managed to get a bunch of kills out of the back of it. But still, Misfits just not letting up with the pressure. There's Sound Barrier, they're engaging.
They're going right in. Sound Barrier out here for both teams dropping the beat. We'll see Enlar right now. Will Enlar be the hero once more? Transcendence so out here from the offense. It is Misfits going all in. Ang is going to bite the dust now. A 65 advantage. Crew piling in. 35 energy Zarya. 3 kills out for Misfits, and they are just washing over the side of Tornado.ROX. Everyone participating here, getting kills. Crew gonna get the last one on the Lucio, and this should be it. We'll see if the stall will be any sort of effective.
No, Skipjack's just in the way. They're playing Gatekeeper on Winston. Harambe blocking the door, holding the door. Let's combine those two memes for extra added value. It's fun to see the May come out as well at just last minute, just to try and hold on. But yeah, good times.
Alrighty, so we are going in here to the next round. And yeah, I mean, you look at the time bank here. That's one nice thing about the time bank system, right? Is that for Tornado.ROX, they don't have to feel like, oh, we just have to concede at some point. In theory, if they get to the end and get 3 points, they can bring this back. As we saw yesterday from LW Red, where LW Red was able to come back with 1 minute left on their time bank and actually push a payload the entire way. Which, by the way, like, I'm so glad that happened early on in this patch with that combo system, because now anytime we think a team is out of it, we can always reference, but do you remember LW Red? We're going to be saying that for a long time to come, because I don't think we're going to see that all that often, but it proves that it is a possibility, and honestly, it was some of the most exciting Overwatch that you could ever hope for. Yeah,
it must be so nerve-wracking for the team as well. Like, you know there's like a game somewhere that exists where you just have to like touch a car for as long as possible, and the person who touches it longest wins, and it goes on for like days, and it's just like a massive endurance thing. It must be like that, but you know, there's people shooting at you trying to pull you off it. It's a crazy scenario to see defensively, and it's a crazy one to actually make it work as well, because you know where they're going to be. Someone has to be touching that car at all times. You know exactly where they're going to be, so you just got to fire off enough ultimates onto that and hopefully clear them off. But it didn't happen last night. That was insane. Still, Tornado.ROX have a huge task ahead of them. Would not be surprised to see Misfits just play this defense relatively aggressively, just holding the front choke. It looks like they're not going to try the envious defense as it's becoming known, the super aggro one. They're just going to try and hold it normally.
So one thing that's worth noting here, of course, too, is that Misfits is playing really strong, and they're doing it without Zapri here now. I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's either one of two things. Either he couldn't make it here today, or it's something a little bit more insidious where Misfits is trying to practice with a different roster for E-League in Atlanta coming up, because Zapri, as far as I know, is under 18 and might not be able to participate. So for those who are wondering what is going on there, that might be what's going on. I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard rumblings to that effect.
Yeah, I believe I heard rumblings that Nevix was swapping onto a DPS role as well. He's normally on Lucio. Like, he swapped onto that to do some shot calling work for them. But meanwhile, they're just pushing it straight up to the choke point here. This is normally what you see. Just perfectly fine here, rolling forward, and it looks like they're about ready to engage. It looks like they're just going to move on onto this flank side and try and engage from the high ground. But they had this super super aggressive comp with the double flankers again. They're going to need to just dive in and get aggressively onto the backline or just find a pick real quick. Can they do that is a question.
They're rolling right in. Winston in some trouble, though, getting knocked right back by Crew. Crew, though, gonna have to back out as well. Eats a lot of damage in that, but look at Soon in the backline. Still 200 HP, not under assault at all. Is gonna be able to lay in damage here on McCree, but for the offense, this isn't bad. They're doing okay on the poke war. Lightning was able to get picked there. Goes to the backline. Swift Strike hits 2. We'll see if we can get a little bit more, as this is probably the best Tornado.ROX has looked all game long.
Yeah, although this fight is starting to wind down a little bit. Nalir, like that's a really hard name to say, managed to jump in really early, but got flashbang immediately, got taken out nice and quickly. Crew there picking up the Zarya, that's huge. You cannot fight without the Zarya there, just she provides so much momentum. The barriers keeping people safe and alive. Once Zarya is down, momentum is completely gone. They have to retreat, regroup. That's actually a good retreat out of Tornado.ROX as well. Like they needed to just pull back at that stage, not give up more than they need. They have Dragon Blade, they have Sound Barrier for the next fight as well. But there's actually no sound barrier on the defensive team either. They're just going to purely be relying on Hidan on Resurrect, and he's still 50% off.
All right, so offense coming in once more. They do have a whole alter name. Lightning has Dragon Blade at the ready. Should be pulling out here in just a moment. Dragon Blade now out and on the way, looking for Mercy. 2 kills here from the offense. Lightning able to slice down soon, gets the double kill, and Tornado.ROX well on their way to getting this first checkpoint. And that's the power. When you have 4 ults banked, you can turn the fight in their favor. Crew not quite able to get as much on the counter Death Blossom.
Yeah, and especially when you have 4 ultimates banked and there's just no defensive ultimate for the other side, nothing to really just stop the Dragon Blade coming out. And I did see that the Death Blossom came out of Crew just to try and get some results, but Transcendence just nullified it immediately. Now they're going to start trying to position for this high ground. Lightning just poking away. They're going to try and just occupy as much space as possible. You've got to be aggressive with this comp. You've got to try and get as much space as you can quickly. We see Nalir just jumping in the background, getting chased down by Soon though, engaging in a duel. He's just going to disengage. Just Tracer can. She's nice and safe. She can just run away, no problem. And it looks like they're about ready to push on this next fight. Claw's going to be big here. Graviton Surge ready, and a bomb also could come out.
All right, taking a look here at the offense. Graviton Surge. Claws will be leading the way with this. Might be able to set up Enlar. Waiting for the opportunity. In comes Graviton. Enlar. Pulse Bomb in. Haume will blow up. Does not get quite as much as he's looking for, but Lightning is there at the follow through. Gets the double kill after the Pulse Bomb. And take a look here. This is actually looking at pretty well for Tornado.ROX. I mean, their defense wasn't great, but their offense seemingly much better. However, Misfits coming in off the flank. Crew moving in, laying in the damage. Able to get 1, looking for 2 here. Gonna knock D.Va out of her mech. And Misfits, they are going to turn this in their favor after a somewhat of a rough start. It was really the res keeping them in that fight.
Yeah, we've been watching Overwatch for a long time, ZP, and you remember the days, you remember those fun days where the momentum of the fight seemed to be going one way, then Mercy comes along and says her signature phrase, and then the momentum just swings all the way back. Yeah, we are back living that dream once more. Hidan comes in with the res, picks everyone back up. They've got so many ultimates right now in Misfits as well. I'd be shocked if they lose this fight. They have everything they need to just take it in decisive fashion.
Sound Barrier Dragon Blade now on the menu. Nevix in the back line, looking for those 6 magic seconds. Hasn't gotten too much here just yet, but does get to the back line. Takes out Claws, gets the dash reset. Sound Barrier comes in, but it's awfully late here for the offense. Does set up Lightning, though, to take out Crew. They've picked up 3 kills overall. It's keeping them in the fight, as Aang actually here in the D.Va able to get 2, and this might be a 1 fight here for Tornado.ROX.
Yeah, Cullen, me surprised. Like, that's actually a very well done fight, but Soon just blocking the payload, just crouching his Tracer. So small, so tiny, couldn't be spotted out. Does buy a little bit of extra time. And of course, time is so important in this new system as well, especially when you hit 0-0. You do not get a second chance anymore. You get the overtime you need to push to the end, but you will not get a second round. So just stalling out fully is super, super vital. Coming up for the next fight, though, we have the stakes ready with Transcendence. They're going to be able to defensively block a lot coming in here. Looks like Misfits going for 1 last attempt here.
All right, Misfits with Death Blossom in the back line, going stymied here by the Transcendence Crew, though. Still in decent shape, going on the Claws. Soon able to land the Pulse Bomb. 65 now in favor of Misfits as they carry on the defense. Nevix, Dragon Blade at the ready, gets the double kill. And this is going from bad to worse here for Tornado.ROX. They still have enough time to bring this back, maybe about 2 extra pushes, but certainly this push is done.
Yeah, and this is a really, really hard point to push into as well. The defensive spawn is so much closer, so the defending team is going to be reinforcing just as fast as the offense. So if a fight does start dragging out, you're not going to get any real swingy advantage here. It's also, you've got to be so careful about the direction you're going to take. It looks like they're going to go up through the church as well. It looks like they're just pushing around, trying to find an angle, but they don't have that many resources either. They got Aang ready with the D.Va bomb, but the D.Va bomb might not be able to find that many results in this kind of fight. It looks like Zebastai's ready to go though.
Sound Barrier on the way here. The Misfits diving in once more. They get no kills off the Sound Barrier to start things off, though, so it's a decent response here from the side Tornado.ROX. Tornado.ROX still laying it in. Lightning able to take out Skipjack, but here comes Nevix laying the fight. Has taken out mistakes, looking for more. Enlar having to get away. Tonic, his next victim here, perhaps, as he needs to get up. But Soundbear comes in late in the fight, and this might be all Tornado.ROX needs. They're pushing it right back. Soundbear giving them way more longevity, and Enlar right now just laying it in. Will go down the crew at the very end, but for Tornado.ROX, they just need 1 or 2 more picks to take this fight.
Yeah, though it's looking a little bit dirty now. Hidan is putting out so much healing on that Mercy. Like, she can just keep people alive for so long, and she's almost got another Resurrect as well. She's 66%, so 2/3 of the way there, and they're just going to start mopping up these reinforcements. Mercy's healing is out of this world, and if she does not go down early, she's just going to keep people alive for so long if she is actually healing and not just hiding away in a corner waiting for that Resurrect. So just good job by Hidan there just to survive that long. Also, Nevix was doing a good job of just hunting down mistakes, hunting down the supports on Tornado.ROX, making sure they couldn't be as impactful as the supports on Misfits.
So here's the problem here for Tornado.ROX. This is their last attempt, their last bite at the apple, as it were. Claws might be able to set Tornado.ROX up for this, but Misfits, a lot of ults here that actually deal with this in turn. Here we go. Nevix going to open things up with the Dragon Blade, looking for the early pickoff on this end. Not able to get, now chasing Lucio, gets boot back. Decent containment here on Nevix, but while that's going on, Lightning has already fallen. Claws does not get much off his Graviton. 2 quick kills here for Misfits, and things looking pretty good for them, although Enlar able to keep the dream alive as however, the res coming in now for Misfits.
Yeah, Hidan just putting an end to those dreams, just picking everyone back up. So momentum swings once more back to the Misfits. They should have no problem cleaning up here with the Winston just putting damage onto Lucio. You can dance all you like, but you can't outdance that. And not too bad from Tornado.ROX. Like, they had a good few pushes, like a couple of good fights as well, where they managed to swing it back unexpectedly. I think Nevix is definitely putting pressure on mistakes, and that's putting a lot of pressure on Tornado.ROX as a result. The support having a hard time against just Nevix being super aggressive soon, also just being super aggressive, and Misfits playing to the caliber that, well, we know that they can play at. They're just playing very, very well at the moment.
Honestly, Nevix, it's been a while since we've seen him on DPS as a main thing, but it's pretty good. Now, I know you were watching yesterday or the weekend, but one thing for people who weren't watching over the weekend that you might want to get used to is that Mercy is getting play the game like 75% of the time. I think in the play the game algorithm, the res has way, way too much priority right now. Yeah,
oh man, like, it feels bad as well because you see, like, I think Hanzo's got about five kills, and it was just Mercy, 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 Mercy all day, every day Mercy. And it's sad because it's not that exciting to watch him Mercy come in and res, and then there's the times when she comes in, resurrects, and then everyone just dies again, and it hurts.
It's not great, that's for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for giving supports love and all the rest. I think it should be a thing. However, the way it's going right now, I mean, when it's 75% Mercy and it's not even, you know, if it's a 5-person res and then they swing the fight, by all means, that's great. But if it's a 2-person res where Mercy's just rolling around, I don't know. Because there was a point where I think like a 3-person res got priority over a 5-person Dragon Strike. And I'll tell you, the 5-person Dragon Strike is a lot more rare.
Yeah, although, like, Hanzo's creeping back in. Hanzo's coming in, especially with the buffs he got, and Graviton strike combos could be more and more of a thing. There's very little you can do to defend against it aside from fire off Transcendence and Hope, basically. And, oh, man, like, that has me excited as well. Like, Hanzo as a pick, if I'm not playing, because I've done a couple of scrims with Team GB, and, man, like, going up against the Hanzo when you're playing support is a nerve-wracking thing. You just don't dare peek ever. But watching it get played to a high level is super exciting. That said, curious to see what we're going to go to next. It looks like we're going to be up on King's Row. So standard as standard could be. Misfits still going to be the favorite coming in here. Misfits have been playing this map for absolutely ages. One of the bread and butter maps of Overwatch. Looking forward to it.
Kings Row, it's sort of weird. Like, I think generally speaking it is in most map pools, but at least for the last weekend there was more of a trend where Kings Row would get banned out early, and you sort of looked at it as like, wait, what? That wasn't the case for all the times though. Still one of the maps the teams are very much practiced on, and we are getting the game. Not much downtime here. Map number 2 going to be on the way. Misfits versus Tornado.ROX. So we'll see if Tornado.ROX can turn things a little bit more in their favor. I will say that their offense looked far more competent than their defense. So, I mean, if there's a silver lining from there, it's probably that. Just figure out what they did in offense, apply it to their defense, and make things a little bit closer.
Yeah, that definitely looked a lot cleaner. They got a lot more results out of it. Their defense on Dorado, I'm not a big fan of like standing at the front door and hoping that that works, especially against an aggressive comp that's just going to break out the door. And a lot of comps these days are looking to engage hard. They're looking to push hard. I imagine, like, I'm trying to just think of why you would run that. Maybe if they're running nip comp, like part of the idea of nip comp is you try and take poke damage until you have the Ana ult ready, because that charges super fast and you can just absorb some poke, and then you push in as hard as you can off the back of the nano boost. And so maybe you're trying to deny them the ability to just soak up poke, but even then it's kind of sketchy, and once you start losing momentum, you're just never going to get it back. Like, they're going to get ultimate advantage super fast and they're just going to roll over you, and we saw that definitely happen there on Dorado.
Yeah, and one thing I would say, too, about the NIP comp as well is that because you have so many beefy people up in front, it lets you be a lot more aggressive in holding ground. It makes it harder for the offenses to sort of roll in and get the positioning they're looking for, which is why you look at maps like Dorado when NIP runs that comp, they do hold pretty far up. And why? Because you have to chew through all that tank HP, which is difficult when you have 3 supports healing. The downside to that comp, though, is that if Roadhog doesn't get a pick, it's awfully lacking in explosiveness.
Yeah, you could sort of, you end up in this long meat grinder of a fight where there's just so much health and so much healing going around that you've got to rely on the explosive damage coming out of Roadhog, like you said, or the ability of Awesome Guy, Korean legend of the Winston play. But it looks like battle is about to be joined as the teams do start advancing out. Nothing too untoward here. We do have Claus just poke out with a Sonic Arrow before swapping onto the Zarya. Otherwise, a very standard sort of double flanker lineup, so they're going to be looking for a very nice quick pick or two, some aggressive pushing, and then get a Graviton's huge amount out of that as Aang jumps right in.
All right, Nevix right now in the back line. No sneakiness from this Reaper, just laying in solid damage behind the Reinhardt right now. And for Misfits, they're bending, they're not breaking. They take out Claus immediately here. They still have a 65 advantage, and even though Tornado.ROX is pushing in, they're having a real hard time actually getting things done. Winston lucky he didn't die, though, to start things out here as Enlar goes to the back. But overall, looks like Misfits will be taking this first fight.
Yeah, once that Zarya went down, the push is just going to struggle so hard, especially when you're running a Winston. It just makes Winston so much weaker when you can't put a barrier on him, can't keep him alive that much longer. And Zarya is just so vital. And Crew, like in Zarya versus Zarya battles, Crew is amazing at Zarya. Crew is a top tier Zarya. Crew is a goddamn legend on Zarya. He finds so much damage, gets so much charge early. He's almost, well, he's good 2/3 ready to go as well. Mistake, so is actually good to go on Transcendence as well, so they could try and get something off the back of this. Can Hidan also hide away long enough to survive and get the resurrect?
This is Portal advantage here from this one, to be sure. Transcendence is going to lead the way, but they're already down Enlar early in this fight. It's 5v6, not in their favor. Soon will go down, and now let's take a look at Hidan. Hidan right now is in the back. We'll see if he reses soon here. Doesn't have that much to res, though, as Nevix is able to win the rest of the fight, and I think they might just have soon to do the run back there, as Nevix and Skipjack were able to finish that out.
Yeah, and I think Soon went down to a reflected Deadeye as well, so he fired off his Deadeye and just suffered for it as Lightning got right into his face. Now, the silver lining here is that Lightning is ready to go with Dragon Blade. Claus is also ready to go with the Graviton Surge, and they have no defensive ult against this aside from Hidan. So if they can get pressure on Hidan, then that would be great to get a lot of value, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get him. They managed to get everyone in the Graviton mix-up.
Graviton comes in, Lightning to the back line, moving right in. Hidan is dead, there will be no res, and Lightning might even get to save this Dragon Blade, we'll see, but nope, he just wants to be sure. Dragon Blade comes out late in the fight, doesn't actually get a kill off, and not even sure if it got too much in the way of damage, so wasn't necessary. But that's also one of those cases where if there are people up alive and you want to be sure that you take the fight, you don't want to be that guy who's just like, oh, we got greedy on ult economy and now we didn't take this point.
Yeah, and I think in this matchup as well, like Tornado.ROX, it's difficult to say like how much of a skill gap there is in individual skill, but even then you could just say that play it safe, use the ultimate, let's secure this point, get as much on the board as we can so that when we defend, we know exactly what we've got to be able to do and we know sort of what's coming up against us. But now just Crew shelling away into the choke point. They're just going to let this payload roll forward through the choke point before looking to cause something to happen. They still do have the res on Hidan. Hidan unfortunately going down early in that last fight. He's just going to hide away this next fight. It looks like they're just going to force it in the choke moving forward, but wisely T-Rox just pulls back a little bit and it looks like they're going to be playing to their own tempo here as Tonic is now ready to go with Sound Barrier.
That was an excellent disengage. There's nothing more to say about that. They didn't get caught by any Deadeye traps, all the rest. They weren't really particularly intimidated. Here we go. Next fight is underway. Skipjack holding on to the Earthshower. Not going to get it. Claus able to take him out early on. Sound Barrier protecting Tornado.ROX as they move forward. They get 2 kills to their name. Make it 3 as Enlar able to get this final cleanup. But here comes Hidan. Rez is out. This fight is not over yet. And this is the Beta 1. Rez in the Sound Barrier. Here comes Misfits chasing things down. Crew at 100% energy. Be rather greedy if he went for the Graviton here, though. They should back out. They went awfully deep. But here comes Graviton, does pull in forward, but is going to be immediately countered here by the Transcendence.
Yeah, Misfits getting greedy there with the sound barrier. All it took was a speed boost to retreat out, but Lightning draws the Dragon Blade, gets 2, looking for a third, doesn't manage to find it. And actually, they managed to clean up Misfits. So Misfits, I think, just got a little bit, you know, a rush of blood to the head there. They decided to sound barrier and try and engage, but they didn't realize that, hey, Lucio's on the other team. He just speed boosts, and the rest of the enemy team just hightails it out of there, around the flank and around the corner, and they were nice and safe from that. There was no worries, easy life for them, basically. And that Misfits paid the penalty for it. A little bit overconfident there, a little bit aggressive on the push, and it's left them in a bad situation. And now they've got to try and defend this choke point here. Oh, Claws.
Claws at the Earthshire, knockdown 3, set his team up. They got 2 kills off that. Graviton comes in late, but they don't get the extra finishing kills here. Nevic's still alive, still able to do things here on the payload. He is losing teammates left, right, and center. Lightning able to take down Crew, and finally Nevix will fall himself. This is going to be Tornado.ROX to get to the second checkpoint, and honestly, they've made up for a lot of lost time here.
Yeah, they've actually done a really good job of just pushing through this streets phase here. Misfits managed to get a little bit of an early grasp, just an early mistake cost them. They just lost all tempo there, and Claws with the clutch. Now Lightning's almost ready to go with the Dragon Blade, but there's Skipjack ready to go as well with Earthshatter, and Skipjack again is no slouch on this Reinhardt. He is an absolute monster, so going to be looking for good things out of him. They also have Soon with a flashbang, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a flashbang. Can they find...
Nevix moving right in. Death Blossom does damage to the backline. He's able to get 1 direct kill, but really it pushed everyone on the offense back, and Nevix will get the final cleanup here. It's going to be Misfits reestablishing control, and honestly, they needed that, because if they had lost that fight, it would have been Tornado.ROX potentially setting a very quick time, but Tornado.ROX now they just need to back out and stop chaining deaths.
Yeah, now they just have to hold on, regroup, get everyone together, and get everything ready to go. Support Lightning's ultimate coming up, and just hope to get a lot out of that. But Crew's almost ready to go with Graviton. Skipjack also might be just holding Earthshatter just to stop Lightning getting any value off of that Dragon Blade. Earthshatter, one of the best counters, one of the best ways to stop that ultimate, getting a lot of results here. So difficult times coming up ahead in this next fight for Tornado.ROX. I'm going to be curious to see how they're going to engage it, and there's so much defensively available for Misfits as well that it's going to be super hard. Crew jumps in, gets Graviton.
Graviton is up, Skipjack charges right in. Lightning, though, will be looking to go to the backline, is immediately shut down. Soundbearer out here now for the defense. They're going to be rolling forward as Soon, just mopping things up here. Left click, Mick left click in the house, as he should be able to finish out the rest here. Zarya is going to go down, and Soon on a rampage, and they got to save the res there. Wasn't even needed.
Yeah, that was just like a brutal engagement, but that was just a bad position right there for T-ROX. Just let Crew run right into the middle of them, just drop the Graviton Surge and just get so much value out of the back of it. The bright side, well, they've used a lot of ultimates, and Eng is ready to go as well with his Graviton Surge. There's also just the Resurrect for defensive ultimates, and that could go badly, especially if Messi gets caught.
Graviton coming in here, and Enlar, the counter Deadeye, moving forward, takes out 3 before falling himself, but look at Hedan, the res up. Claws measuring with the Earthshatter, knocks down everyone that was just rezzed, and the offense might not be stopped by this. It was a good res by Hedan, but it was a better response from Claws.
Yeah, that was just really good positioning by Claws. They knew that the Resurrect was coming once Mercy wasn't in that kill feed or wasn't in the Graviton Surge. Just standing positioning, waiting with the Graviton Surge, waiting for the Earthshatter. There's just no way you can defend against both sides at once. Gets it and just cleans up easily on the end of that fight. Really well played by Tornado.ROX. Very nicely done. This offensive is looking pretty damn good, actually. Just 1 minute left on the clock, so they've managed to make somewhat good time, especially against a team like Misfits or the caliber of Misfits. But Crew, I think, is going to have something to say about it in this coming defense.
All right, so defense right now setting up once more. Soon is going to be opening up here with the Deadeye, and the offense, again, they're disengaging. Their disengages have been pretty decent here, but here they go. Transcends in the way. Happy little Skullzo coming up, and oh my god, they're so lucky. Soon was a half second away from killing a whole lot of people there, but they do get to the backline. Nevix, Death Blossom setting the way. Skipjack doesn't even need to drop the hammer, as Nevix and Skipjack able to rush the backline. They went in deep on Soon, and they got him, but they paid a terrible price for it.
Yeah, they got rid of Soon, but Nevix was just stood at the side, waiting for the Transcendence to go down, and then he just presses Q and Death Blossoms everyone down as they try and retreat out of there. So good patience from Nevix there, good result there as well from Misfits. And that was the Transcendence gone as well, so that's one of the defensive ults. But Tonic trying to engage it, Skipjack, oh my lord.
Sound barrier in here for the offense. This is their last gasp. Time is running out. Soon, though, able to take out Claws early on in the fight. Nevix with the follow through. Everything going the way of the Misfits and on. It's looking like this is going to be a hold right before last. Not the worst effort, though, for Tornado.ROX. There was a point where they could have set a very quick time. Just didn't work out for them on last.
Yeah, and because it is the new competitive system, like the shiny gold box of victory will be right at the doorstep as well for that victory point. So it's like playing stopwatch when you have a full time bank, almost. You just got to get it right to, well, literally under the big generator in the middle of King's Road, in the middle of the Omnic Foundry, I think it is, or something like that. I'm not too sure on the specifics of the lore here.
All I know is that it's an EMP bomb that's supposed to just massively kill all Omnics in the area. So it just there's some real robo racism going on in the Overwatch world. That's all I gotta say. Even like Torbjorn and Zarya in particular are just like, man, we hate robots. It's like, all right, guys, calm down.
I can kind of get behind it. If you watched the last Bastion, that was scary. Like, Bastion walks out of a forest like 20 years after a war, fully armed and ready to go. That was terrifying. That scares me.
I feel like he's defying the laws of physics, though. Like, where is he getting all the bullets from? I don't understand, like, to where he's continually laying in clip after clip. I guess he's getting it from the same place where Reaper gets his shotguns. That's the only explanation.
There's just a nega zone of ammunition somewhere that Bastion and Reaper both draw from.
That's the real bad guy here in Overwatch. Who is the shadowy arms supplier that could give you unlimited ammo from anywhere? Look at Skipjack right now.
Yeah,
what is this?
Oh, he's doing the kneeling. Wait, where is he? Oh my god, how did you... Oh, Mei. Mei's antics. Mei... The thing is, like, I did a VOD review the other day of just Mei, Rogue versus Reunited, and some of the positions Rogue were pulling out with Mei. That was absolutely incredible to see. Like, I love seeing that kind of stuff with Mei. Love seeing the creativity coming out. But looks like the offensive lineup is just a couple of things just to spot people. Nevix is actually no slouch in the Widowmaker, but he's just seeing what he can find, just seeing what he can spot out there. He's not actually going to be running it. Unfortunately, Widow dropped out of the meta. I like the Widowmaker meta, but I know a lot of the pros. Well, some of them weren't so keen on it.
Widowmaker meta I thought was good because it made it so you could win fights without having ult advantage. I think ult advantage is a little too strong right now, but here we go. Fight is underway. Misfits moving in. Claw's able to take out Nevix immediately. Good charge for him to set things up, but he does put himself way too out of position in the end. His team wasn't able to support him. And again, remember the thing here for offense, even if they end up getting wiped, as long as they get some kills, they can chain into a better fight for their second attack. But right now it's looking like it's going to be fully in favor of the defense, and that will not be the case this time.
Yeah, Lightning did a good job of just coming back into the fight, swinging around the back of the fountain, going right for the support line and cleaning up on Zeba's side. So that's going to just make sort of a long, protracted battle a little bit hard to pull off, even though Misfits had the Reinhardt up and running, so they could sort of afford to pad a little bit more. It just wasn't enough once Lightning starts getting to backline. Once that Reaper gets in there, starts landing those meat shots with his shotgun. Nalea actually firing off the Deadeye. Now, these zoning Deadeyes, like, they're a little bit riskier now. You don't get the ultimate back anymore, so that's a little bit harder. Claus actually tries to go in as well, gets flashbang for the result, goes down nice and fast, and Nevix getting up on Lightning.
The defense there just went way too aggro, and they're immediately punished. That's the danger of being aggressive before you get a pick. If the offense is able to get the first pick off in turn, you're going to get full wiped, and that is exactly what happened there. Nothing too flashy in the part of Misfits. They just bent. They did not break. They're going to take point A, and now they're in great position to snowball their momentum as they go through the streets phase.
Yeah, and that fight, like the engagement of that fight as well, Nalea was still a mile back on the McCree. He was still back sort of behind the point, so you're not going to have a flashbang to get rid of the Rhino. That said, he bakes up for it now, taking out Crew. Zarya's loss is absolutely huge right now because he also loses all that energy that she's built up over time. So now he's going to have to rebuild that, have to sort of get that back, and it's going to be a little bit slower on the coming push. That said, holy moly, the Misfits have pretty much everything ready to go. They're going to be looking to engage hard here. Zebasai ready with Sound Barrier, soon ready with Deadeye. Skipjack also ready on the Earthshatter. It's going to take a lot to hold off this coming push, but Claus finds it.
Claus with the great Earthshatter sets up 3 kills right away, and that is a panic, wasted Transcendence towards the end as Crew goes for the big ride. We'll get healed up by that Transcendence, but you take a look at this here. Everything going in favor of Tornado.ROX, and I think Hedan would have been well prepped there to just hold on to that, because if you lose 3 people right away to an Earthshatter, you're right by your spawn, just wait for respawns to come in.
Yeah, and Eng is ready to go with a Graviton Surge. Like, Sound Barrier can soak up a lot of damage in it, but when the entire enemy team is beating down on you, when they've got a Reaper ready with Death Blossom, they can strip that Sound Barrier so fast that they can just get rid of it and kill everyone anyway. So that the Graviton Surge coming up from Eng could be so dangerous without having that Transcendent safety net. That said, Misfits still do have a lot of resources in the coming fight, and it looks like T-Rox is just letting them push up to this next corner here. They're going to be looking to engage here, but Nevix is up above and ready to go.
Sound Barrier out for both teams right now. Both Reinhardt's going to charge into each other, canceling out. Here comes Lightning, though. Death Blossom on the way, immediately taken out by Soon. It is rather back and forth between both teams right now. Slight edge here to the defense as Claus once more, a huge Earthshatter. This time, though, the follow-up might not be there. Nevix still on the point here with Crew. The tag team, the Bash Brothers, pushing back the defense right now. And for Misfits, this is actually working out as Soon comes in, gets a pick off in the back, and this should be their point now.
Yeah, Soon just doing cleanup duty there, and the Graviton Surge coming out of T-Rox was not the one they needed. It picked up Zebasai, but then Lightning just went into Death Blossom Zebasai alone, and that just let Soon stand back and put a couple of bullets into his head, a quick double tap, and he goes down. Not much value coming out of that Death Blossom, not the value they needed, and Hidan is ready to go for the next fight already, so they both have Transcendence up and running. Going to be interesting to see where those get used, but Skipjack also going to be looking for something here. It looks like they're ready to engage. Can they get the counter? There it is.
They are moving right in. Transcendence now out here from the offense. The offense wanting to stay in. The defense with the Transcendence of their own. Everyone is feeling enlightened right now, but Nevix able to get the first pick off on the Claws, stopping him from doing any more ridiculous shenanigans. 2 kills here for the side of Misfits, and Nevix just going in, moving forward. Everyone from Misfits is in, and everyone from Tornado.ROX is falling out. Well, speaking of falling.
Yeah,
Tonics sent Soon for a ride. Oh, man.
Unfortunately, I think it's too little too late as they are hitting the golden box of victory. Lightning is dancing around it, won't manage to find it. Skipjack trying to buy a little bit more time. There's the Graviton Surge, but no, it just pulls him right into it as no one stood on the point as Lightning goes down. There's round 2 complete, and 0-0's on the clock, so, well, they just have to take first point now.
3-2.
No, I was gonna say that's it because they didn't. Tornado.ROX didn't complete the map.
Of course.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a second. Am I going crazy? It's 3-2. It's like the map is over.
Yeah, I'm being silly.
Play of the match.
I know, of course.
I've never seen this before.
Of course, this is probably going to be the one on the push where, yeah, just hiding up here. The thing is, like, Claws gets a fantastic Earth Shadow. Like, this Earth Shadow comes out. Look at that position.
At least it was a 5 res here. This makes me a little bit less salty. Like, it was a 3 res. It was a pretty good res to bring up the entirety of the team. I'll give that one a pass. It was a good res.
It was a good res, but it was also a really, really good play by Claws there as well. Yeah. And just won them that fight, basically. Let them get around the corner. Sad days. Sad days.
Yeah, that was okay. Claws had good cleanup. There's no doubt about it. So, either way, that is Misfits taking the second map here. Going about as expected, but I do think Tornado.ROX has had a better showing, especially not so much the first round Dorado, but since then, they've played it reasonably close. I don't think Misfits has really felt like they've been in danger per se, but it's been a total stomp either.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of things that like Tornado.ROX seem to be doing well. Claws especially is just landing Earth Shatters, and like against the top tier Reinhardt's, Skipjack's definitely among them. That's not an easy thing to do. Like teams are very, very good at sort of keeping track of the Earth Shatter and blocking it and stalling it out. So he's definitely doing a good job setting himself up, getting ready for that. It's just, it could just be a differential in skill level. Like Crew again is just a fantastic Zarya, so he's going to be very difficult to outplay. And when the enemy team Zarya is so damn good, it becomes a nightmare to try and push into it. The barrier is on point. She's doing just so much damage as well. Like the splash damage, the constant damage coming out of her makes it so hard. And as well as Soon and Nevix are working well together, getting into the backline, causing all sorts of problems. Identifying weak links as well, like just making sure that they're taking any opening and just crowbarring it open. Looks like the next map, though, will be Nepal. So King of the Hill, deathmatch skill. Yeah, that Korean style was just something beautiful to behold. Just watching them disengage, re-engage. Like I followed the Korean scene in StarCraft 2 for a while. I was like a GSL subscriber, watching Artosis and Tasteless cast that for ages, and watching also like the LoL scene as well. So they definitely come from that like strategic level background. They come from that just plans and that knowing when to engage, when to disengage, how to position, that kind of thing. They have all that experience. They might not necessarily have the Twitch FPS experience that some of the Europeans and some of the Americans have, but they definitely have that strategic level down to a fine, fine art.
Also, apparently I muted myself for a moment there on that last thought and just talking about how Misfits plays well as a team. Sorry about that, guys. I was blowing my nose and then, well, off camera, and apparently did not re-mute or re-enable my microphone. But I did mute it for your guys' sake, so you didn't have to hear me blowing my nose. Didn't get that same luxury. I did not mute Skype, so he heard every last little bit of my contagion, which it's those things where I feel fine for the most part, but man, it's just been lingering for the last week. It's been terrible.
No, I've been down with a lurgy for like the last week or two as well. It's not been fun, but I'm starting to sort of bounce back out of it, so I'm feeling a little bit better. But we are here on Nepal, and I'm curious to see like this map on Nepal especially, like is anyone going to run the Cloud9 strategy? Is anyone going to run Bastion? No, I don't think so. Both teams are running a Torbjorn at the moment, but I don't think that's going to last, unfortunately. And have you seen anyone slam a basket? Like one benefit of Team GB, by the way, for the World Cup, we can reliably land the baskets.
I forget what team it was yesterday. That was going in on it, but they were using Symmetra and just landing like 4 baskets in a row. I mean, effectively they were cheating, but
yeah, that's cheating.
Yeah, no, it's totally cheating. Symmetra should be banned from making baskets, but here we go. Next fight underway. Both teams getting into it here on the high ground. And actually, Tornado.ROX with a good start there. They force Nevix out to start things out, but here comes Soon on the flank, able to move in the skipjack. They get 2 kills, make it 4 overall. It's not without their casualties here, but everything now in favor of Misfits, and they will be able to take this fight. Big props there to the Soon for a very successful flank.
Yeah, just really well done there. Both teams actually engaging exactly the same style, just taking the high ground, sending the monkey in, and then putting the barrier right on him, making sure that he's not going to go down anytime soon to land as much cleave damage as possible on the enemy team. And just Misfits pulling it off a little bit better, which is honestly kind of what you would hope to see out of Misfits, considering they've been together so much longer as well. They're going to be a little bit more practice, so they're just going to hold this high ground right now, make sure that the enemy, they know exactly where the enemy team's positioning. It looks like they're opting to take this high ground themselves, but Soon's ready with a pulse bomb. They're going to be so careful of clumping up right now. You might just want to hold on to that for a little bit longer, but as Soon finds the layer in the back.
Soon was able to just chunk down Enlar right away. 1 clip and gone. 4 kills here from Misfits, and Mechanical Skill definitely winning out here. They win this fight very cleanly, and again, it's going to be problematic here for Tornado.ROX going to the next fight. They're not going to have Sound Barrier up right away. They will have a Graviton up, but support ults oftentimes do determine the course of the game here in a King of the Hill matchup, so big advantage Misfits going to the next fight.
Yeah, like having your support ready to go. Like one thing I try and track as much as possible is, well, the spot out which goes off right now, and they said they're just not going to give me any time to go, so go ahead, ZP.
They're moving right in. Graviton is coming out here from Claws. Pulse Bomb is out from Enlar, takes out 3. That is what they're looking for. Lightning comes up to the late Dragon Blade, doesn't get quite as much as he's looking for, and despite the strike from the Wombo combo, it is going to be hold from Misfits once more, and that's unfortunate because that's effectively an ult showdown, and we've talked about this at the Overwatch Open over the last weekend, but anytime both teams throw a whole bunch of ults at each other, the team that wins gains an just indescribable advantage.
Absolutely, and Nevix just did a really good job there, just holding onto the Death Blossom, waiting to end that combo. Again, they're just not giving any time here, but Crew actually with a great Graviton Surge catches Claws, so might get rid of this area nice and early in the fight, and that's going to cost them so much momentum. It becomes so much harder to fight out here in the open. Soon also cleans up in the back, and oh man, this is going bad right now for T-Rock, so they are getting a little bit of pressure on the point, but that's going to get cleaned up in no time.
Soon was able to get 3 kills there off the flank once more. Soon being absolutely standout here for Misfits, and 96% remaining. This is looking like the round will be going in favor of Misfits. And remember, this is a best out of 5, so Misfits up 2 games right now. They get 2 more rounds. That is going to be it. They will chalk up a win here in this group stage.
Yeah, and that's 100-0 as well. That never feels good to have that happen to you. Sad times. But yeah, Misfits just looking cleaner, looking a little bit better. The DPS on Misfits also just a little bit more practice, finding a little bit more value. Nevix especially finding a lot of value in those team fights as well. Just all going a little bit better, but I do hope that we are seeing this. Although I know Hex is like a big fan of Pharah. Like Lightning has picked Pharah. We see Mercy coming out as well, but I do agree with Hex's analysis there. I think he's on point with that. Pharah is a win more comp. Like, if you are running Pharah, you've got to be damn sure that you have the pressure out there and that you can land that damage. And if you don't have pressure, if you don't have space to work with, she's just going to get picked out of the sky, especially if the enemy team is running Zenyatta. It's going to be so difficult. But they don't actually have any really solid anti-air here, so Pharah could get a lot done.
She absolutely could, and that's actually one thing I wanted to mention back on King's Row is that NA really liked running a lot of Pharah on King's Row yesterday. Didn't see it here when King's Row's played between these 2 teams and Lightning right now. We'll see if the Pharah can do what he's just trying to do, and no, he'd immediately take her out of the sky. Zen pretty good at that with Discord Orb, not as good as he used to be, but still 2 quick kills here from Misfits. And did we just get a boop?
Yeah, they almost got booped off. Like, they just, edge of their teeth. Like, Winston jumped back on just at the last moment, so Eng doing a good job there, and almost got Tonic off as well. That was so close from Zeb's side. Like, I'm gonna give a shout out to Cruz as well, because he's like the master of the boop, and that was a Cruz level boop right there if they went off.
Alrighty, so Misfits holding on strong once more, and let's take a look at Soon. He's built up the Pulse Bomb, is going to be looking for a quick pickoff here, and again, his flanking has been a real problem here for Tornado.ROX, and he's just moving in. Pulse Bomb on the way, does not get the stick, is taken out immediately here, as Lightning now coming in over the top of Sphera. Real opportunity for Tornado.ROX. Soundbarrier, though, comes in as a result of ult advantage, and Nevix might be able to just finish this out with that extra protection.
Yeah, Nevix and crew just cleaning up in the background, dealing so much damage combined with each other. There's a Graviton strike, though, gets 4 of them, but there's just no damage to follow it up, unfortunately. There's just a D.Va with the Bunny Blaster and a Lucio with the Sound Blaster, and that's not going to do enough. So they just clean up on the point and manage to hold it.
Listen, all credit to the side of Claus here. He's had really good ultimates through most of the day, but that was not one of them. That was an ultimate in a lost fight, one of the most important ultimates in Graviton Surge, and now there's no guarantee that even gets another Graviton before the end of this game, and can't help but feel like that was a mistake.
Yeah, it's one of those desperation ultimates, just like nothing's going right, I'm just going to fire it and hope that we have enough to clean it up, but your DPS is dead, it's not going to be enough to clean it up. There's and Cruz just showing him how it's done, gets 4 in there right now. Can they get the damage to finish it off? D.Va does go down out of the mech right now, and it's looking bad. Skipjack takes out mistakes as well, so there's going to be no resurrect here. Bad news bears for T-ROX.
It is bad news. Barrage raining in for the top from Lightning is taken out by Crew. Zari being surprisingly decent at dealing with Pharah at a lot of ranges. Crew just melting down everyone. Gets the double kill. Was able to contain the Pharah. And again, Tornado.ROX isn't necessarily doing terrible in these fights. They're just not doing well enough where they have had points where they take down Misfits of 2 players, but you don't fully win the fight. You're not going to retake the point, and this is their last opportunity to take this round here, but they're running into a meat grinder. A lot of ultimates up here for Misfits as Nevix. Death Blossom at the ready. Sound Barrier in. Here comes the Death Blossom. Takes out Lightning. Gets the triple kill, and that is going to be the round here for Misfits. Res comes out. Hang on, though. We do have a Res here for mistakes, but they're not quite getting it. All it's doing is giving Nevix more targets to hit.
Yeah, with Transcendence there ready to go as well. Like the re-engage is not going to be enough. They're just out of position. Crew drops the Graviton Surge as well, and that is another clean 100-0. This is looking so good for Misfits right now. They're finding a lot more damage. They're getting a lot more kills. They're taking advantage of opportunities better. More practice, more rehearse. What you'd expect out of the more experienced team.
Alrighty, so for Misfits, they are 1 round away from taking this first strike here in the group stages. And again, you look at Tornado.ROX, where what they're at here, they have to do the reverse sweep in all senses of the word now. They have to win 3 rounds in a row here on Nepal, and then they have to go back and win the next 2 maps. It's possible, not super likely, as Nevix goes for the shot, gets an air ball.
Oh, sad days. I'm curious to see that Angus, I know Angus swapping to Junkrat. No, that can't be staying. Are they going to run Junkrat here? I don't believe that they actually are running Junkrat here. I mean, that could put a lot of spam to the corridors. It's an interesting pick, but with the healing coming out of Lucio, it's going to be hard to clean up, and you're just giving Crew free charge as well.
Junkrat isn't all that bad here. I've seen it used to great effect here on the Sanctum phase in particular, just because it does have the narrow corridors. I think Junkrat isn't who you normally go to on King of the Hill, but I think in this case it's totally okay. However, it is back and forth here between both teams. Tornado.ROX getting a little bit more than they have used to. Claus getting knocked, or getting the charge on the Crew towards the end, will die for it, but here comes Nevix late to the fight. He has been great on cleanup here thus far, is pushing Tornado.ROX back, and is looking like Misfits will get first control here, but the Junkrat play plus good tank play from Claus did make it rather close.
Yeah, it was, and also like Soon went down really, really early as well, so that's just a nice advantage for them, a little bit of a silver lining. But now this point is so hard to retake with the 2 choke points. You've got to try and force your way through. They're going to try and blow through it with the Junkrats. I'm going to be curious to see what they go for there. Skipjack jumps in, got the barrier in, but Claus on point with the charge.
2 quick kills here coming in here from the side of Tornado.ROX, but Nevix once more in the backline. We've seen this a lot here in the series, but Nevix just gets to the backline late in the fight, wreaks all sorts of damage here, and he's able to bring things back a bit for Misfits on this defense. Finds himself in a bad situation though, 40 HP, somehow still alive, able to Wraith form out, dodges the fire strike, finally. Enlar going to end his life, and Enlar right now moving in, gets a double. We'll have to deal with Soon in just a moment, but see if Tornado.ROX can fight their way out of this pickle.
Yeah, Tornado.ROX just play it sensibly. They should be able to take this as they do outnumber it. But Junkrat's going for a Riptire as well. Might just find Zebasai, so will take him out off the point. But Skipjack's still on there, still alive and rumbling. And he's just going to just put so much pressure on the layer that he's not going to be able to survive this for too much longer. Down he goes, and point control stays in Misfits' favor. So they didn't even manage to capture the point there. Still have not put any percentage on the board so far in this King of the Hill, making it so difficult right now. And Hidan is ready to go. Soon is ready to go. And Crew is also just charging up. And they're going to have 6 ultimates. This is going to be so hard in the coming fight for T-ROX.
This is do or die here for T-ROX, where they must win this fight. I mean, they will have another attempt at this suit, but they at least need the Drain ult here. Nevix, though, able to take out Lightning early on. No death possible required. Graviton comes in late in the fight, sets up soon. Wombo combo in, 2 people down, and Zoomyata decides to take the way out, saying, look, I'm going to use the speed to reset just a little bit quicker. Goes into the pit, and it will be down here to the last fight for Tornado.ROX. This is group stages. Their tournament life is not on the line. But as far as this particular series go, this is their truly last shot.
Yeah, and it's looking really hard right now. Nevix jumps in, gets 1. Can he get more? Yes, he gets the 2nd as well, and gets a ton of damage on the engaging team there. That's absolutely huge for them.
Nevix coming in big here on DPS. Everything going well here for the side of Misfits, and that's going to be it. They're going to clean this up, and Tornado.ROX unceremoniously going to go down 3-0 here in this series, and it will be taken by Misfits. Really good play by Misfits, although Tornado.ROX at points, like I said, it wasn't a full stomping overall in the series. They did have their good moments, it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, and like Claus was playing really well. Like Claus, all their opportunities seemed to come off his back. Like he was finding space to get good Earth Shadows off, finding space to get good ultimates off. We'll see Mercy play the game, of course, just picks everyone back up just to get blended once more again. Standard Mercy play of the game.
Yeah, I feel like Mercy play of the game should really take into account on some level, did your team actually win the fight right after? Because here's what happened after that Mercy play of the game. Mistakes came in, got the res, and everyone died again. It was just, I mean, play of the game, got your entire team slaughtered twice.
Yeah, it's...
I don't know.
They need to have it like going for a minute, or if they want to have support players of the game, like I'd love to see like a, you know, you can have 2 people in play of the game, for example. And so you can have like the support player and the DPS player, and the DPS player, you know, does these big ultimate, and hey, the support player gets a mention too because they were a big part of that. Like just having these Mercy players of the game, and we're going back to this time where it's just every single time, because all Mercy does in these team fights now is just hide, wait for a 4 or 5 man res and picks everyone back up. So you're just going to see it over and over and over, and because that's taking priority over 5 kills, 6 kills sometimes, and it's insane.
Alrighty, so that was our first set of the day in the can. We are going to be taking a short break. When we come back, it is going to be Reunited versus Endpoint. Of course, Reunited going to be awfully favored there. And it's not a tournament final, so you have to expect that Reunited is going to win. They sort of have this, they have this weird cheat code going with them where they can only lose only if it's in a finals. But I'm just poking fun. Reunited, of course, a great team. Definitely looking forward to seeing them. But we'll be back here. Just a short break. See you soon.